大家好，欢迎收看实拍实说。今天就让我们跟着 Regan 和 Anna 还有学校代表参观位于加拿大 Montreal 的 Sacred Heart School of Montreal。Sacred Heart School of Montreal 除了有着很大的校园，其实它的 School Network 也是非常大的。Sacred Heart 其实一共有150几间学校，遍布在40个国家里面，而加拿大就有2间，其中1间就在 Montreal。这所学校建立于1861年，比加拿大的历史还要大6岁。他们提供7至12年级的课程，并且为学生提供宿舍。
So welcome to Sacred Heart. The school is shaped in a W, so that is the main entrance where you just came in, and the chapel is the centerpiece. We are an all-girls Catholic school, but 30% of our students are various religious backgrounds, from Jewish, Muslim, atheist even. We do have 10 mandatory masses per year that regardless of your religious background, you must attend. However, you don't need to participate in the religious component. So we are on the 3rd floor, so the middle of 5. Here is a map of the greater Montreal area, and this is where the school is located. So you see that girls are commuting from all over, and then we have these countries represented as our international students from Japan, the US, Zimbabwe, Brazil, a variety of backgrounds. So this is one of our libraries, our reference library. The library is open from 8 to 5 every day. The girls can work in small groups. They have access to the Macs if they need to print anything. We also have loaner Chromebooks, as our students are using a Chromebook. That's their one-to-one device. It's school issued so that we have parental control. At the end of the hall is our study hall, where all of our students from grade 7 to 11 have a desk. We don't go from classroom to classroom with our backpacks. Our grade 12 students don't have desks here, where they kind of run a different program. They don't wear uniform. They can bring their own device. If they want to use a Mac or an iPad, they're able to. We're trying to transition them to being independent learners. Sometimes this room is used for a classroom where the whole grade comes together, called general instruction, or we have announcements where the girls can get up and tell the community what has happened in their academics or their athletics. We have a house system very much like Harry Potter, 8 houses, so each house has a name, a mascot, and a color. It helps the juniors meet the seniors and vice versa. There's leadership opportunities, and everybody comes together to do community service, house points, and things like that. So we're heading to the 4th floor at the moment, which is where most of our classes are taught. Mathematics, English, social science, and ethics and religious studies. We have 2 math streams, the regular math program and the accelerated, which means they actually do grade 8 and 9 math when they're in grade 8, and then they do calculus from the 𝐶𝐵 system when they're in grade 11. So after grade 7, that's when they get streamed. So we get them to do the placement test for the grade that they're coming into, as well as the next year's. So then we can assess on the level, and usually in the lower levels, they often go into the accelerated program. However, there are times in grade 10, for example, we have 3 levels of math, same thing for grade 11. So we have ministry exams in grade 10 for math. So depending on the student and their level of English, is it feasible for them to go into the accelerated program? So we assess that with the student through the placement test, the English assessment, and things like that. Hello! This is one of our grade 7 art classes. So it's part of the curriculum in grade 7 and 8. And in grade 9, they do a choice between art, music, drama, or dance. So this is one of the classrooms. It gets very warm here, but typically we have a beautiful view of the island of Montreal. The other classes up here are our French classes. We have basic French to second language enriched to mother tongue, which is called langue d'enseignement here in Quebec. So depending on the student's level, they get placed. In the spring, we do a placement test just to see. International students, well, we usually put them in the basic one. Yeah. So this is their dorms. They have fobs to get in and out of the program. This is the kitchen for the girls where the staff have their fridge, but then the girls, if they want to leave anything and have their own personal snacks, they can. They've got cupboard space as well. There's a personal chef that's here in the evenings to prepare the meals. It's 2 girls per room with shared washroom facilities. And as you can see, we're getting very festive for Halloween. So 2 girls, they each have their own beds, storage underneath. They each have their desk with drawers. There's an armoire behind me where they can lock and hang things. And then shoes and things like that. So we close for 2 weeks at Christmas, 2 weeks at March break. At Christmas, there's never an activity that's prepared because it's a holiday that people choose to go home. And then at March break for grade 10 and up, there is either a service project or a European trip. So for example, this year they're going to Spain and Italy. Last year they did a service project to Costa Rica. So this is a lounge if they want to hang out in and play board games, or there is a piano. Obviously they were doing some manis and petties with their nail polish, so they can just hang out here. So this is our dining hall. Our students sit by grade level. There is an optional hot lunch program. So there's 2 hot options, always a meat and a vegetarian, and then a cold option like a poke bowl or salad with protein or wraps and veggies, things like that. On the second floor is where we have all the displays of our different academic awards, as well as our graduates for the last couple decades. In here is our reception room, which leads on to our new auditorium. So this is the rehearsal room for our concert band. It's wind, percussion, and brass. If students are string players, then they can show it off in the talent show and things like that. And then across the way is our student exchange, which you can see with and it also has all of our instruments, but this is also the student exchange office. Sacred Heart is a brand. There's 150 schools in 40 countries, and starting in grade 10, they can do a reciprocated exchange, whether they go to France, they go to one of our sister schools there, they live with the French family for 2 to 3 weeks, and then our local families would host the student as well. So this was the last capital improvement in 2022 after the auditorium was the wellness center. It's called the Julia Chanchu Wellness Center, and it's for athletics teams to use as dry training, but also staff and faculty and students can use this just for personal wellness. So this is the gymnasium, the Margaret Johnson Gymnasium. We do have one of the largest gyms for a downtown school. We have 2 full court basketballs. It's open at lunch every day, so the girls, if they want to play basketball, or the soccer nets are down, badminton, tennis. They also do gymnastics, they do juggling and dance. So each phys ed class has different units that they do based on their grade level.
今天就参观到这里啦。这所学校相比其他市中心的学校来说，它是相当大的，而且他们的宿舍就在学校里面，所以对于寄宿学生来说，上学、放学都是非常方便。如果你喜欢这条影片，记得点赞、留言并订阅我们的频道。有任何的升学问题，记得找我们大地海外升学。我们下期见。